This is the story of a 42-year-old mason who came to us after having got injured in his left eye while working at a construction site. On examination, his right eye posterior segment was normal, but left eye posterior segment evaluation revealed presence of an iron piece inferior to the disc. I decided to do a pars plana vitrectomy for removing the intraocular iron piece from the eye. Step 1, we secured an infusion line and made the two superior ports. There was already a traumatic cataract, so I decided to do a pars plana lensectomy and remove the cataractous lens. While doing the pars plana lensectomy, we ensured that we could save as much of the anterior lens capsule as possible, and also I was careful not to injure the iris in any way. Since the lens material was mostly rather soft, it could be easily aspirated with the cutter itself. Once the lens matter had been aspirated, we proceeded for pars plana vitrectomy. There was some dropped cortical matter posteriorly, which we could easily remove with the cutter. Then we did a central vitrectomy. Once the central vitreous had been removed, we injected triamcinolone acetonide to stain the posterior hyaloid, and then with the cutter in suction only mode, we gently induced a posterior hyaloid detachment. Once we were successful in inducing our posterior vitreous detachment, the intraocular foreign body, which was stuck with the vitreous, also got dislodged from the retina. Next, we carefully removed all the vitreous attachment around the intraocular foreign body. Once all the vitreous had been removed successfully, the intraocular foreign body fell back on the retina. We then proceeded to remove the rest of the vitreous from inside the eye. Now we had to remove the foreign body. Before we could do so, we realized that the corneal entry wound was leaking and destabilizing the globe. So we closed the corneal entry wound with a 10-0 nylon monofilament suture. We buried the suture knot. Then we made an entry wound. This wound was going to be the one via which we planned to remove the foreign body. Then we removed one of the valve trocars and converted the 23 gauge port to a 20 gauge port with the help of an MVR blade. This was because we were planning to use an intraocular magnet, and we know that at present we don't have any intraocular magnet which is less than a 19 or 20 gauge magnet. With the help of the magnet, we lifted up the foreign body. Then, with an end grasping forceps held in my non-dominant hand, I fixed the foreign body. I was trying to bring it out with a McPherson. Unfortunately, at that stage, it slipped back. So now we had to redo the whole thing all over again. So once again, with the help of the magnet, we carefully lifted up the foreign body. This time we were very determined to not let it slip back into the eye again. So with the forceps, having stabilized the foreign body, this time we carefully held the foreign body with the McPherson forceps, and we were successful in teasing it out of the eyeball. Now that the main part of the surgery was over, we successfully removed the foreign body from the eye. So we closed the 20 gauge port. Next, we also closed the peritomy. Finally, the only step that remained was to place an intraocular lens. So we injected a multi-piece foldable acrylic IOL into the anterior chamber and carefully dialed it into the sulcus. Fortunately for us, there was enough capsular support to have the lens stable there. So this was a case of an intraocular foreign body in a young male patient, which we could successfully manage by doing a pars plana vitrectomy and removing the intraocular foreign body using an intraocular magnet. We were also successful in placing an intraocular lens inside the eye, and we did not induce any iatrogenic breaks. So we hope that in the long run, the patient should have good visual outcome. Thank you.